Shooting Par Podcast, episode 4. Um, don't have much to talk about this week, obviously. We only had one event this past weekend, but we'll kind of talk through that, and then we'll also um, go through the upcoming events this weekend, as well as update on the women's NCAA. The individual and team champions were crowned last week, and then the men's are happening right now. So I'll give you guys an update on that as well. And then a little bit of other news that's going on in the golf world. So for the past week, we had the PGA was the only one with an event. Charles Schwab Challenge, Colonial Country Club, Fort Worth, Texas. Davis Riley wins with minus 14. Scotty Scheffler and Keegan Bradley both at minus 9 for second, and then Colin Morikawa at minus 8 for fourth. There was like 5 guys that were tied for fifth. So those are at least the top 4 people. Davis Riley looked good pretty much the whole tournament. I know Scotty kind of made a run at it a little bit, but I think he shot one over on the final day, so he kind of fell off a little bit. Keegan Bradley shot minus 3 on the final day to kind of come up and tie Scotty there. So definitely get himself a little bit extra money. All around solid tournament. Coming off of the PGA Championship, I wasn't sure really what to expect as far as how the guys would play, as well as who would play and everything. And turned out to be a great tournament to watch. Davis Riley played again amazing. Wins by 5 strokes, so he played extremely solid. But again, coming off of the PGA Championship, it's hard to kind of recreate that magic, especially when you had Xander going minus 21 and then DeChambeau going minus 20 during that. So all around great tournament for them. We're going to be a little slow here for the PGA, till a few more of the big events that are coming up later on. But obviously, every event's good to watch. All these players are great. It's just they're not the big ones. So, again, great tournament for the PGA. As far as golf wise, obviously, there was another thing that came out of the Charles Schwab Challenge. A little bit more news. On a different note completely. So Grayson Murray dropped out of the Charles Schwab Challenge on Friday. Saturday, it was announced that he had passed away at the age of 30. Sunday, his family came out and said that it was due to suicide. First and foremost, prayers go out to his friends and family and fans. It's a tremendous loss to lose someone. Period. And it happens too often in this world that we're losing people due to suicide and mental health and depression and whatnot. So just first and foremost, the prayers go out to his family, friends, fans, dealing with the loss. That's just unimaginable. I know it's hard for some people to believe that someone is successful and young can have depression, but depression affects all of us. So if you're dealing with it, seek help. And secondly, I do want to talk a little bit about the mental health and depression. Long story short, the name of the podcast, the Shooting Par podcast, kind of came from a saying that I like, which is life's a course. I'm just trying to shoot par. And I just like that saying. Kind of just a mental health thing for me, Things aren't always going to go your way. Things aren't always going to go great, but you got to keep fighting. You got to keep going. You got to keep trying to break even, keep trying to break par. So, just mental health and depression, means a lot to me. I believe in it. I believe in, people reaching out. I believe in people getting help. So if you are struggling, with depression, anxiety, anything else, just reach out, try and find some help. There's a lot of people out there. There's a lot of doctors. There's a lot of people you can talk to, therapists and whatnot. So just reach out, find the help. You know, don't suffer in silence. You know, now there's the stigmatism of having depression, anxiety, and talking about it out loud and stuff. Like, lack of a better term, fuck the stigmatism. Like, go out there, talk about it, be open about it, and it'll help you. So, yeah, I just wanted to kind of get that out there. And again, you know, first and foremost for Grayson Murray, it's an unfortunate loss for the world of golf and us as fans, but more importantly, it's an important and terrible loss for his friends and family. So prayers go out to them. Hopefully, they can get some peace. I don't know. Hopefully he's in a better place. But yeah. Moving on. In other news, Lexi Thompson announces she's going to be retiring at the end of the LPGA year. A few more events to watch her, and I'm excited to watch her a little bit more. Obviously, she has been kind of the standard for the LPGA and kind of the flag bearer for them moving into this newfound, I guess, popularity that they're having. She was there from, early on. She's an 11-time LPGA Tour winner, a major champion, a 2-time Olympian, a 6-time U.S. Solheim Cup team member, outstanding person, golfer. I mean, she helped move the PGA towards what it is today. And if you look at it today, you have the likes of the Nelly Cordos, the Gabby Ruffles, Hannah Greens, everyone else that's out there, Rose Zhang, everyone. She helped to kind of push the LPGA forward and whatnot. Again, she was kind of the flag bearer for that. I think she was like 13, played in her first ever major. Like, she was outstanding, a ridiculously great golfer and everything, but just a terrific person. So definitely take the time one of these weekends, specifically probably this weekend with it being the U.S. Open, big tournament. Take some time, go out there, watch her play. Outstanding golfer, but unfortunately she will be retiring at the end of the LPGA year. So definitely take advantage of the little bit of time that we do have left to watch her play. All right, now on to NCAA Women's National Champion. So for the team and individual, both of them are finished now. Last week, I don't believe they were done yet. Basically, the individual was basically done last week because of how dominant Adela Kuznek, I believe. I'm sorry if I jacked up that pronunciation. But basically, she was completely dominant the first 3 rounds of the women's individual, and she didn't really slow down. I mean, slowed down a bit. Obviously, she only shot par in the 4th round. But she still won by, I can't remember how many strokes she won by, if I'm being honest. But she is the first individual to win from Texas A&M. She was only 4 strokes off of the all-time record, which of 16 under par for the NCAA National Championship. So, ridiculous how well she played. And obviously, she was able to help Texas A&M to a 3 seed in the team seeding and whatnot, but congrats to her on winning the national championship. Obviously, it's very impressive to do as an individual, not to mention having almost record-breaking performances. Like, I can't even remember. I think there was like 4 or 5 records she was going for. So, ridiculous. Congrats to her. So, for the team national championship, first round was Number 1 Stanford versus number 8 Auburn. Stanford won 3-0 to advance. Number 2 LSU versus number 7 Oregon. Oregon gets the upset, wins 3-2 to advance. Number 3 seed Texas A&M versus number 6 seed UCLA. UCLA wins 3-0 to advance, which kind of took away the chance for Adela to win both the team and the individual, but it is what it is. And then the last match for that first round was number 4 seed USC versus number 5 seed Clemson. USC wins 3-1 to advance. So the semifinals were number 6 seed UCLA versus number 7 seed Oregon. UCLA advanced to the final with a 3-1 win over Oregon, and then Stanford beat USC 3-1 also to advance to the final. So then the final was last Wednesday, Stanford versus UCLA. And Stanford was able to come out with a 3-2 win to win the national championship. The second team to win the it's their second title in 3 years. They're the only team to win multiple national championships in the match play era, which has been since 2015. Very impressive. Obviously, an outstanding program. I mean, they just produced Rose Zhang, I think, last year, and she was a 2-time individual winner. A ridiculous program. I'm shocked that they didn't have somebody in the individual running, but then again, when you have Adela going out there and basically setting records, I don't think anybody else was going to be in the running. So congrats to them. It's exciting to see kind of what Stanford's going to do. Obviously, they're a terrific program and everything. So, every time that they're out there, they're a team to watch. And you definitely want to keep an eye out on a lot of the players because a lot of them are going to be playing in the LPGA at some point, probably. All right. Next up, we're on to the men's NCAA. I'm shooting this a little bit later than I normally would, so the individual for the men's is actually already finished. They finished it today. So Hiroshi Tai from Georgia Tech comes back from down 3 today to shoot 3 under and claim the individual national championship by just a stroke. He was one of the earlier groups, so once he actually finished, he had to wait for all the other groups to finish. There's quite a few people that were still in the running, but 2 players in the final group each missed their birdie putts, securing the title for Tai. Extremely impressive for him. Come back down from down 3-0, or come back down from 3. Come back from 3 down. Struggling. Come back from 3 down today, and again to shoot 3 under to claim that individual national championship is huge. And he also was able to help Georgia Tech get a number 8 seed for the team, so keeps them in the running for the team national championship, which is very exciting for him. We'll see how they do. They are the 8 seed. They're going to be going up against Illinois in the first round. Number 7 seed Ohio State versus Vanderbilt, number 2. And then you have number 6 Auburn versus number 3 Virginia. And then Florida State, the 5 seed, versus number 4 seed North Carolina. All that will be happening Tuesday and Wednesday this week. And then they will crown the national championship on Wednesday. So I'll give you guys an update on that next week. Got a lot of stuff going on this week, so probably won't be able to give you guys any updates on the Instagram page, but obviously keep an eye out on it. If I do have time, if I do have a moment, I'll definitely give you guys an update. What I would say, keep an eye on Auburn. Great team, and if they can get hot, they can put a few rounds together, and you only got to win 3 matches to win the national championship now. So they have a chance to do it. I know they're the 6th seed, but I could see them definitely making a run at it. So keep an eye on them. Again, congrats to Hiroshi Tai, as well as Stanford and Adela Kunesic for their championships. So last but not least, we'll move on to our upcoming events. PGA, we have the RBC Canadian Open, Hamilton Golf and Country Club, Hamilton, Ontario. I'll be honest with you, I'm going to watch a little bit of it. I'll be moving this weekend, but I'll try and watch a little bit of it. It's really not the number one thing on my radar. The number one thing on my radar for this weekend will be the LPGA U.S. Women's Open, Lancaster Country Club in Lancaster, PA. Being from the Northeast originally, I've played Lancaster Country Club, beautiful track. I think there's a lot of opportunity out there for them to score. Obviously, I don't know how they're going to have the pins or anything, but just depending on where they put the pins and whatnot, it's a beautiful track. They'll definitely be able to go out and score. And again, I think the U.S. Open, it's a very big opportunity for a lot of people to make a statement, make a name for themselves, as well as for one person to kind of get that little farewell tour, considering this will be her last U.S. Women's Open that she'll be playing in. Hint, hint. But moving forward, we'll look at the picks from last week real quick. So last week, Dylan picked Scotty Scheffler. Our guest or random picker, whatever you want to call it, picked Scotty also. Both of them got 5 points. So the guest has 9 points. Dylan has 26, considering they both got 5 last week. And then I picked Jordan Spieth. Yeah, that didn't go well. I got nothing to say about it either. I thought he was going to make a run. I thought he had a chance. I thought he was due. Clearly, I was wrong. So I got 1 point. I'm at 21 points for the season. But this is my bounce back this week, so not too worried about it. But don't foresee me picking Jordan Spieth very much moving forward. So, all right. For the RBC Canadian Open, our guest picker has Rory. For Dylan, he has Sahith Theegala, which I actually think is a great pick. Didn't think that was who he was going to go with, but Theegala's been great recently. He's been in the running for a couple of tournaments here, so I think there's definitely an opportunity for him, especially with a lot of other people sitting out. For me, I'm taking Taylor Pendrith, taking the Canadian kid back up in Canada. He's played pretty well. I think this is an opportunity for him to go out, get a win, try and secure himself a spot in a few of these major events and whatnot, get himself back up the FedEx Cup points ranking. So I think this is his opportunity going back up to Canada. So we'll see how that works. Hopefully the homegrown thing will actually work out for me this time, unlike with Jordan Spieth. So for the U.S. Women's Open in PA, the random person is taking Hannah Green. Great pick. Hannah Green's great. So, and I think, gets a little bit repetitive with everyone picking Nelly Korda, but then again, I wouldn't blame them if they did, because she's the world number one for a reason. But Dylan actually took Lexi Thompson. I think he took her because of the whole storyline of, final U.S. Open that she's playing in, just announced her retirement, kind of a farewell tour type of thing here. So I think there's definitely a little bit of the storyline that he's kind of going off of. But I can definitely see Lexi pulling it out and definitely going out and having one of her better performances of her career. Always save the best one for the last, right? And then I'm actually going to go the complete opposite of Dylan. I'm going with, you guys should know by now, but I'm going with Gabby Ruffles. I said it last week. I said it the week before. Probably say it next week. She's an amazing player. She's a rookie. I think, placing third for 2 tournaments in a row, great, outstanding, but I think there's the next step there, and I think this is her chance to take it. Playing a major, playing in the U.S. Women's Open, which she's played in a few times. So it's not like this is, a brand new thing for her. She's played in it a few times, granted amateur and whatnot, but, even as a rookie, she's already had the experience playing in it. I think she makes a great run at it. I think this is her opportunity to go out, win this tournament, make a name for herself. Obviously, there's a little bit of a name. Everyone kind of starting to realize who she is and whatnot. But this is her chance to kind of solidify that she is the future of the LPGA. So I'm taking her again. I think she's going to get the win. I mean, it's not even in question for me. It's just a matter of how many strokes she wins by. But we will wait and see. Obviously, I mentioned earlier I will be moving, so I don't know how much I'm actually going to be able to watch of the U.S. Women's Open, but I think Saturday and Sunday I'll be keeping an eye on it, try and give you guys a little bit of updates on what my thoughts are. Once I kind of get settled in and whatnot. But I'm definitely going to be trying to listen to it on the radio, and whenever else I'm driving or moving stuff around, I'll probably have it on in the background at least. It's going to be a hell of a tournament. It's worth taking the time out of your day to go ahead and watch it. And my opinion, LPGA doesn't get enough support. I've said it before. So go out there, support it, support the women. All right, Lexi Thompson's retiring. That should be the reason enough for you guys to go watch, because she is an outstanding player, outstanding human. You're only going to have a few more tournaments to be able to watch her live. So go ahead and do that. With that being said, that is all I have for you guys. Go ahead, hit the like button, subscribe, follow the Instagram page. Try and support us. Don't know how much Dylan's going to be helping me out now that I'll be moving, but we'll be looking for a new co-host, so we'll work on that, see how it is. Till then, see you guys next week.